There you are.
There we go. Sorry, brother.
Oh, no worries, man. Right on, Eddie. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for taking some time here this morning to join the Toddcast.
No, I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to kind of picking your brain and talking hockey, talking puck, and talking all sorts of different things with you this morning. So, Andy, I guess maybe to start us off, tell us what you do. You're the goaltending director at the Yale Hockey Association, meaning what's your day to day like? Do you have an average day there?
Yeah. Basically, the Hockey Academy is a school-based program, right? So we have four teams in the program. We have a U15 team, used to be known as Bantam. We have a U15 prep team, so basically a double A and a triple A team. We have a U17 prep team, and we have a U18 prep team, which would be, I guess, a major midget type of a program was what we used to call it, right? So I'm responsible for all eight goalies that we have in the program, as well as being an assistant coach on one of the teams. Um, yeah, typically the day is our teams practice in the morning. It rotates around the schedule with the school days. So 3 days of the week, our U17, U18 team are on the ice 8:30 in the morning, and then the 15 teams are like 9:45 and 10. And then we'll have dry land classes, video meetings with the kids, kind of a thing. And once the school day's done, they're done.
Sick. Why did
Yeah,
they
it's,
change it from Bantam and all that? Like, what was the reasoning? Do you know?
I think, in all honesty, I think midget, like terms, PC, a lot of the stuff changes that we've had in hockey, Canada, BC hockey, and all across the programs are all insurance driven and PC, right? You got to mind your P's and Q's more and more these days. So
Yeah, well, the
I,
same
I
thing happened in baseball too, right? Like no more
100%.
no
Yep.
Bronco. Like there's it's just all the same
Yeah.
sort of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the weirdest, man. So they legitimately like that's a school for them.
Yes.
Like they
Yeah.
learn the ABCs, the one, two, threes, and then
Yeah.
hockey.
Hockey basically replaces, what they would have as phys ed blocks kind of a thing, right? So it's, yeah, I'm a big believer in the system that we got going on. And a lot of people, academy hockey is expensive. And well, if they're going to be elite hockey players, zone programs are expensive. And I like the fact that it's all incorporated. The whole point of it. The other thing is for kids that aren't necessarily great students but are great athletes. This is the carrot for them. It's almost like university. Like if they have to maintain a B average,
Mm.
and you know what, it doesn't matter if it's our top goalie, top scorer, top D man. If a teacher says their grades are not good, then we can't play them. They got to get their stuff up to snuff. So there's that factor. I think the parents like too.
And how long have you been there for?
This will be year 17.
No shit.
So yeah, I'm blessed, man. It's
Yeah, it's a killer gig.
yeah, like literally get paid to play with the kids, right? Like was fortunate enough to earn a living for a while playing the game, and now I'm fortunate enough to earn a living teaching the game. And we have a great staff, so it's cool. I'm
Has anyone
blessed.
has anyone made it to the bigs off?
Yep. Yeah, our kind of the alumni list is impressive from the Yale Hockey Academy, right? We had kids before we got the travel teams, like Devontae's playing in Colorado now, Shea Theodore, Mackenzie Skapsky, who's retired now, played with the Rangers briefly.
Mm.
Jake Vertanen. And then now you look at a guy like Logan Stankoven came through our program. Bowen Byram came through our program. Dylan Cousins came through our program.
Oh wow.
Gage Gonsalves, Mike Milton. Like yeah, but for every one of those kind of kids, we've got some really cool stories of kids who have gone on to become doctors. And you know what? There's a young man named David Lauren. He's one of the top male models in the world. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? But cool stories. So
Yeah, dude, that's
pretty
awesome.
neat. Yeah.
What's your first hockey memory? Thinking back as a kid.
Oh, it's pretty vivid because I came to the game a little bit late. Worked my ass off all summer in the farm and got paid, and I had been begging my dad, more my mom. My mom's always really supportive, but that I wanted to play hockey, and I got cash and went to Canadian Tire and I bought a set of goalie gloves. So it's kind of I always had to prove to my father that I was serious about something. And like I started the game late, like 12 or something like that. And then once he figured out that I was serious about it, off we went. So,
That's awesome. And
yep.
which players did you kind of like, for lack of a better word, idolize? As
Mike
a kid?
Palmateer was the guy for me.
Okay.
I just remember watching him and fun to watch and unpredictable. And, from there, you kind of gravitated towards guys like Trechak was always cool because the whole mystique with the Red Army kind of a thing in the Olympics, the big red machine, right? So he was cool to watch. And that kind of started changing things for goaltending with the butterfly stuff too, right? So
Mm.
those were kind of my two early influences. So,
We talk a lot about like, what if Gretzky were, back in the day? What if he was to play today? Would he be as dominant? That sort of thing. Like we always talk about those players.
yeah, it's fun to kind of talk about the generational stuff, but you look back at the goal, there's no doubt, everyone was playing checkers and he was playing chess. Like he was just that
Mm.
much more intelligent and more aware on the ice. But you look back, like the season he scored 50 goals in 39 games, the average U13 goalie would stop some of those shots now, right?
Really?
Like the game has really evolved for us as goaltenders.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, those are always fun, talk about, wow, how would Mario do? And yeah, I've watched games in the past where they're on the classic stuff with my son sitting there, and we watch the old Battle of Alberta in the late '80s, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm going, well, yeah, you can almost kill a guy, and water ski, and the game has completely changed that way." But yeah, goaltending has really evolved.
Well, I was going to say, how about the other side? Like, would Grant Fuhr do as well as he did back in the day today?
That's, what, there's another one that's really cool to watch what the athleticism and you talk about money goaltenders, like everyone talks Dominic Hasek kind of a thing, and then Marty Brodeur. But Fuhr was one of those guys, and I was very fortunate growing up in Calgary that I got to see him play in the WHL for the Victoria Cougars, playing against Mike Vernon with the Calgary Wranglers. It was such
Oh,
a cool thing to see growing up and was very inspirational. But Fuhrer had that ability, like, okay, he might have let one in or two in, but when a game was on the line, man, could he lock it down. Nobody like it. And it was that's stuff you can't teach, right? So cool.
mm. Have you met any players where you're kind of been a little starstruck?
Grant Fuhrer was the one. I was actually in Edmonton in a sports memorabilia store, and I was there with David Hutchison. I was helping a former student of mine camps that I help out in Spruce Grove every year. And he walks in and we were talking with David had his son Matthew there and who's playing in the WHL now, but no idea. Like you're seeing all these cool pictures of Fuhr with the reverse windmill with the blocker saves and stuff. And
Mm.
lo and behold, they turn around like, holy shit, that's Grant Fuhr. And David went into like, hey, David Hutchison in Goal magazine pulled out the camera right away and pulled Mini Hutch beside him and he took the picture. And I was too gobsmacked. I'm like, hey, we were just talking about you. And oh, that's nice. He kind of walks by and his wife is behind him. I'm like all apologetic on. So he said, he gets this all the time as long as people are polite. It was pretty cool. But didn't even think to take a picture with him. But it
Uh,
was it was just like all of a sudden you're looking at these pictures on the wall, turn around, and go, holy shit, that's Grant Fuhr.
yeah. And I've had him on the podcast before. Such a like,
Yeah.
he's just like a jovial kind of guy. Or like he's
Oh,
tell he just loves life, and
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I think you knew that I was going to ask you something along these lines, but I want you to put together like the ultimate hockey line. You can use
Oh man.
past, you can use present players. Put together the best line.
Oh boy. I would say you'd have to have Gretzky in there. And then, you know what, just for giggles, I'd put Sid on one side and Ovi on the other side. Like, how does it get any better than that?
Mm.
Like, I know McDavid, everyone, but I'm sorry. I still, growing up and seeing it, Gretzky was still, and there's no denying Connor McDavid is a generational talent, the speed that he can generate, but I'd still take Gretzky and then Sid and Ovi. Wow. Could you imagine?
Dude, who's on D?
Ooh, Scott Niedermayer. Uh, and you know what? Let's go modern with Cale Makar.
Yeah, that kid's a crusher. Hey, no, hold
My
on a second.
son,
Hold on a second. Not Hughes over McCarr?
yeah,
Like,
I
what
think
didn't
his
Hughes have like
size.
the fastest recorded time? Like you were just talking McDavid speed, but
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
Hughes actually
yeah,
have the fastest?
yeah. You know what? There's no denying it, but then I look at the size factor. Um, and there's a little more sandpaper and grit to his game, kind of a thing. And not Quinn Hughes is another one it's insane. His edge control, you know.
Oh, dude, he makes the best look bad.
It's nuts. It's
Yeah,
funny to watch because you
yeah,
know what's coming. And Colby Armstrong did that little thing with him, and he didn't want to give on the couch. Didn't want to give away too much of his stuff, but little punch stops and
sure.
edge stuff, and it's fun to watch. But just for me, my son played junior against Makar um, in Alberta, and he just said, "Dad, it was ridiculous. He could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted on the ice when he played with Brooks." So that'd be the guy for me.
Yeah, yeah. And tending.
Ooh,
You're like, hold up,
but
hold up. This is my world here.
it
Let me think
is.
on this
But
for a second.
you know what? It's so subjective too. Because yeah, you can go back to okay, Billy Smith, who was,
Dude, he
you
just
know,
was monstrous.
yeah, and just an evil attitude. Like it was kind of neat to see. And Hextall came along and took that a little further. And I don't know. I still Dominic Hasek, and it's funny because you talk about this as goalie coaches. If you'd probably cut him like the first time you see him because he's not doing it the right way. Um, but stop the puck, and he did some cool things. But I'm probably gonna go with Fear. I would like just the money, timely saves, the experiences he had, and again, fun to watch. So,
Yeah, yeah. We talk Ovi. Ovi's on your line. Does
yep.
anybody beat his goal record now? Like
Oh
Matthews
boy.
is on par, but
Yep.
does he have the longevity to do it?
That's the thing. Like Matthews has already been dinged up a couple times. Like you look at Ovi's career, and he's a specimen, man. Just to be able to stay that healthy that long and play the game like he does, like he's a wrecking ball.
Well, dude, even this year, like
Yeah.
breaks his leg,
Yeah. Yeah.
co-
Right.
comes back like 3 days later, or whatever
Yeah.
the hell it was, like insane.
Insane. It is. It's insane. Like I don't know. Like who would have thought that Gretzky's record would have been broken though? Like
I don't think anybody thought that.
the kids coming up, man, the skill that they have, it's scary. It's absolutely insane. Like, we talked about well this the COVID stuff, and it was a thing with the kids. We're kind of on the other side of those generations now, but the individual skills that these kids have at the younger ages is off the charts. And what you find is you have to teach them how to play in the team game. And if they can combine that skill set with the hockey IQ and being able to work together, I don't know, man, there's going to be some scary kids coming up.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I find that, like, because my kid plays too, right? He's a
yeah,
U15. But I'll find that like that there's like certain kids that are really, really skilled, but they don't pass for shit. They don't play the
no,
team. It's like, well, they're a good player, but are they a good
yeah,
player though? Because they
yes,
like at that
yes,
point they should have passed.
yes,
They should have done that. They should have back checked. They should have, all these should haves make it so it's like,
yes,
well, they're not really that good of a player though, then.
yeah. Though, and yeah, that's what we kind of deal with coming in here is the U15 level. You get the kids that are coming in the first years, and it's one thing to play minor hockey, but now all of a sudden everybody was the best on their teams, and you find that we have kids that because they were talented and really good hockey players and skilled, coaches let them do whatever they wanted to do. And
Mm,
then now that you kind of shoehorn them into a system, go, okay, well, no, son, there's two sides of the puck and you have to back check. This isn't optional. You need to be in these spots, these spots, these spots. And some kids figure it out, some don't. And they wonder why, in certain times, maybe they're not playing. This is where it goes. It's not, you move forward and you want to keep moving forward in a game where maybe you earn money at this or someone hands you a scholarship worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, you need to be relied on. You need to be coachable. So
yeah, that really sometimes comes down to hockey IQ too, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Andy, hit us with the top five must-have songs in an arena.
Oh boy.
Like I'm talking like a Nickelback, "Burn It to the Ground,"
Yeah, oh yeah. See, this is
or
the
like a
thing
White
is,
Stripes, Seven Nation Army, that sort of stuff, right?
yeah, like I know you're a drummer too. I am as well.
Yeah.
And I lean more towards the hard rock stuff, and the metal. So I know like Cotton Eye Joe, not a chance. No thanks. I'd never hear that song again. I'd be a happy man.
Totally that, and like,
Um,
and what gets me too, like watching the Canucks, like when you're in the arena and they're playing like
yeah,
shit, like don't
yeah,
do it. Like I don't care about that stuff. Hit me with like, let's go.
yes. Yeah, Nickelback, like there's so many great Nickelback tunes you can go with that are, definitely energy pumpers. Aussie Crazy Train got to be in there. I love in Dallas how they honor Pantera's legacy, so Walk would be another one for me. Um, oh yeah, just there you go, right off the bat, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Warrior by Volbeat is
Oh
another
yeah.
good tune. What else we got? Streets Have No Name. Again, you watch the Canucks, and when they've had those great runs, it just U2 songs seem to that does it. I know it's a long one, but there's just that song gets people pumping, and then to actually see them do it live, where you can feel the building move, it was a completely spiritual experience, man. So
Yeah, yeah.
that probably do it for me.
What do you think about the Canucks goal song right now?
Uh,
Right? Like, shouldn't they replace, like, especially considering how big Nickelback is? Like, wouldn't shouldn't it be
yes,
like something from them?
you'd think so, right?
Like
So
from
yeah,
here, one of the biggest bands on the planet, But
yeah.
what was the music like in your house as a kid?
Uh, my parents were big into country music. There was always music in the house. We had one of those record players that was, big as a wall
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
eight track in it, and
Totally right. To
uh,
open it up, the big
yeah,
speakers on the sides,
100%.
like,
So great record collection, but it was a lot like my dad traditional stuff, like the old Conway Twitty and Charlie Pride and Johnny Cash, and my mom loved Elvis, so I kind of got exposed to all that stuff when I was younger. But as soon as I found the other stuff, we were off and running to as rebellious and as loud as it could be.
awesome. And who was that kind of got you down that line? With just buddies, or?
No, actually seeing Kiss on the Paul Lynde special in '76. My mom was out, I think she might have been curling ladies' night or something like that. So it was my sister, my dad, and myself. And it came on the TV and saw Kiss, then did Detroit Rock City and King of the Nighttime World. And Detroit Rock City starts. I'm like, what is this? And boom, off the path we went, man.
Totally right.
So, oh, it just blew my mind. I'm like, what is this? And my dad is like, what is this? So,
Totally like,
um,
I'll have some of that.
yeah, exactly. And my mom again, super supportive. I think it might have been Zellers or something like that. I'm like, we need to find records. And I think the only record they had in stock was Alive, and
Would they
away
open it
we
up?
went.
You get to see the concert
Oh yeah,
on the sleeve and all that. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So but
that's
that
great.
was what did it for me. And then same with the musical journey, right? Like Peter Criss was kind of my first influence, being a drummer. And then when Eric Carr came along, they needed a second bass drum, and away we went with that, right? So
Yeah,
and Van Halen. So it just whatever was loud and a little more obnoxious, kind of. That's where we went with it. So.
Yeah, same, same. And what was your first concert that you went to?
Um, First concert was actually Ronnie James Dio with Yngwie Malmsteen opening.
Nice.
And
Where was
yeah,
that?
it was cool. Like, so I kind of got spoiled with that because Dio was unbelievable live. Malmsteen was really good live. Keyboard player covered for him a lot when he's tossing his guitar up in the air, but you have these kind of impressions as a kid that everyone's going to be able to reproduce what you heard on the radio or live. And then I saw a couple other bands, was like, ooh, not so much, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, that was good. And then I got to see Kiss with my cousin here in Vancouver, actually, and watched Loverboy get booed off the stage. That was interesting, but really great concert. And then shortly after that, Peter left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I've been fortunate. And then past that, it was many concerts as I could, right? Like one of my best friends in Calgary, Glenn Mitchell, was a guitar player, and he took it to a Duck Like Water, and he went through phases, and we were kind of jamming on whatever he was learning at the time. He went through a big Iron Maiden phase, and he went through a Judas Priest phase, and then he discovered Slayer and Metallica, and it was, oh boy, here we go. So
Yeah, no doubt.
it was neat. It was such a good time. And then in Calgary, you know, legal age is 18, so you're sneaking in the bars a little younger than we probably should have been, but the music scene all through the West Coast was great. There were so many great live. Kind of what drew me to your podcast was seeing Todd Kearns on here,
Oh yeah.
and you know what? I remember seeing them when they were just electric. They were a cult tribute to start, and then they had to change the name, and you had a great scene where you had all these bands that were playing their own originals as well as cover tunes and stuff like that. It was really cool to see, inspiring. It was a lot of fun to be part of that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
hockey was still going on, but being able to kind of walk in both worlds with the musicians and the jocks, such a great time.
Yeah, yeah. That's the audio side of your world. Let's go to the video side. Is it Mighty Ducks? Is it Goon? Is it
Ooh,
Slapshot?
Slapshot's the one, where it's such an iconic movie, and then you forget about some of the stuff. Like I remember early coaching when my son was coming up, we were taking a bus to a trip in Vernon, and one of the dads go, "Oh, we should put Slapshot on for the boys." And I'm like, "Are you nuts? Do you not
Right?
remember what's in that movie? These kids are 13." So
Now,
yeah,
if you want phone calls from parents, that's a good call.
exactly. And then the other one was Youngblood, right? So Tea with Miss McGillicuddy, right? So
Yes, that's right. Like,
um,
is what is the best hockey movie?
oh, I don't know, man. There's Miracle was really good. It's kind of cool that it was shot local, and I know a bunch of the people that were involved in it. Yeah, I would probably say Slapshot's the golden standard for movies, though. The Mighty Ducks ones were great kids,
Fun
Disney
for kids,
kind of
but like
stuff.
Slapshot's the best. It has to be.
Absolutely. And it's, War Memorial, and that was literally the life in the miners, man. Like, especially back in the day, like there was some, yeah, the buses and yeah,
The
small
brothers,
town
like
shenanigans. Yeah, exactly. Rite of
just,
passage.
just off the rails. Did you catch any of that? I can't remember what it's called. I think it was called Face Off on Netflix, where they kind of followed players around as they're hunting for the cup. If you haven't
Yeah,
seen it,
there's
you got to watch it.
some of that in the 24/7. That was really well done. Like talk about goalies, Marc Andre Fleury, when he was with Pittsburgh, like legendary prankster, like taking all the young kids, turning his
Stuff
room out in the hall
in
and
the hallway.
stuff. And yeah, like,
Dude, that's so good.
oh, it's so good. Like he's a treasure, man. It's gonna be sad that he's not involved in the game anymore. But
He's close. Yeah, I would say he's probably a couple
oh,
seasons, maybe.
I think this is his last season.
This is it. Eh?
Yeah, that's it. Gonna hang him up. And and we have in the goaltending community, we really owe a big nod to Flower with how goaltenders move in their butterfly. Like until he came along, there were a few guys like Patrick Waugh, kind of moving around. The Allaire brothers revolutionized that, but until Fleury came in, like he could move as well while he was down, and that was really turbocharged how goalies play today. So he's kind of the model. And then what's really going to be sad when he's gone is he's the last guy that kind of throws the old school poke checks and the unpredictability, right? And every once in a while a two patty jammer. He just there's such a joy he plays the game with that it's going to be sad when he's gone. He's kind of the last of the old school generations. So, but those series were really well done. Like it's cool to see, what people don't always see. Like it's great. Everyone talks about being a pro athlete and stuff like that, but you're young and you're in a city you're not familiar with, or you're sleeping in hotel rooms all the time and travel. And what do you do? There's that grind that people get associated to, or get exposed to, that you don't always see. So it's
Yeah,
been really cool to see some of these stuff.
totally. It's like the you get the peek behind the curtain of
Absolutely,
actually what
absolutely.
happens, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like as a like I've done content creation or radio podcasting for 30 plus years, and to see it done as well as it is, it's like
yeah.
it doesn't get any better, like from the
No,
production side of things. It's just elite.
and I gotta imagine for those guys too, it'd be a little unnerving with the cameras, running around, finding it all the time when you're just trying to, especially if you're a guy who's in and out of the lineup, or you're trying to hang on to your job, knowing that you're an injury away or bad performance away from getting sent down, or yeah. So there's a lot of factors with that kind of stuff that people aren't really aware of. So it's
Yeah,
neat to see, and they do it very well.
yeah, they crush it. Yeah. Hey, I'm curious, do you gamble on sport?
No, my son does all, mind you, yeah, every once in a while you do the hockey pools and kind of things like that, or the Masters pool, but not where it's on the, where I'm playing the overs and unders and all these odds and some of that crazy stuff. My son's way into that stuff though, right? So I kind of have never really got into it.
Yeah, same. I mean, I do occasionally, but
Yeah.
and as it seems like the older I get, the less I want to do it, because I'm like, ah, man, that $100 I could have bought groceries.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. You work hard for it. It's like gambling. You go sit down at a blackjack table or chuck stuff in a one-arm bandit, and away she goes quick.
Yeah,
Some people have more of a tolerance for it than others, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. Are you surprised that Bedard has said that he's happy playing in Chicago?
Not really. Was fortunate enough to get to coach against him. He played in North Shore when Mark and I were coaching the 18 team. Again, he was a bantam age kid playing U18. Very, very talented young man. And that's kind of what you want to hear from someone who's a first round draft pick, like, looking for the exit. It's interesting how, and it kind of all started with Lindros, where I want out, I'm going to take my toys from the sound box and I'm going to leave.
Yeah,
A bit of entitlement, right? And it's an honor to play. And, you have an organization that's invested that much in you. I could see how, okay, maybe let's talk 3 years from now, if it's the same and nothing's changed, but I'm not shocked with that young man, with
mm,
how he was raised, that's kind of where he went with it. And that's the way it should be, in my opinion.
yeah, I think so too. Like, is it more just kind of like that he wants that pressure of, like, yeah, a low we're a low team, and I want to
Yeah.
take this team. Like, he just wants that on his shoulders.
Yeah, you have players that will be difference makers, and then you have players that want to play with difference makers. You know what I mean? Like there's the big differences. You have athletes that, well, I want to play on the best team. Well, okay. Does that mean that you're not the guy that's going to be able to make the difference? You just want to jump on everyone's coattails? Or, hey, I can make a difference. Get on, and I'm going to drag you guys into the fight and show you how to do it. So, like I said, you talk about generational thought processes and how kids are taught nowadays. And that's, it's filters into everything, whether it's, you try to get these kids to understand this is preparing you for real life. That's one of the big things I like with our hockey academy is that saying is building life champions. Well, if it doesn't translate in a sporting environment, it's not going to translate in the workforce either. Like if you're not a good teammate, you're not going to be a good employee, kind of a thing, right? So there's always that factor to it. So
Because I know a lot of, most people that are listening to this podcast would kill to have Bedard playing for the Canucks.
100%.
And I'm sure if
Yeah,
you were asked Bedard, like ultimately, where would you want to play? He'd want to play in Vancouver.
you would think so. Be nice to play at home, but that also brings its own, the hometown boy thing. I watched it with Mike Vernon
Crusher,
growing
you
up,
mean?
right?
Yeah.
And we saw it briefly with Jake playing in Vancouver. It's tough if you're a hometown boy. They expect a lot and they hold you to a little different standard, right? So,
Yeah. Do you care about the playoffs now? I mean, I would think that you would,
oh
being
yeah,
the job you have and like the person you are. But like, I think a
yeah,
lot of people that support the Canucks, like once, certainly I'm this way. Once the
yeah.
Canucks are out, I'm kind of like, I'll keep, I'll watch maybe highlights, but I'm not going to watch full games. You know what I mean? Um, I wonder why that is. I wonder why people are like that.
I don't know. I don't begrudge anybody for that. You cheer for your team and you stick with them through thick and thin. No problem with that. But for me, just being a fan of the game, period. It's fun to watch this now because, we talk about looking behind the curtain. Yeah, you're playing in the NHL. 82 games is a tough grind, and you're not going to be able to sustain that level every night. But playoffs now, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's an end goal, and the intensity ramps up. And that's what's so fun to watch about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's the clean slate too, right? Everybody's on the level
yeah,
playing field. Like, let's go.
yeah, you just got to get in the dance, and once you're in, who knows what happens, right? You run into a hot goalie, you get a couple questionable calls from a referee, games change in a hurry, right? So, yeah, all of a sudden you get, was it years ago with the Capitals? Joe Juno comes out of nowhere and
Right.
scores 15 goals in the playoffs, right? Like that's the cool thing about it. And then just, you listen to stuff when teams get eliminated. Oh, this guy played with one leg for, 16 games kind of a thing. And that's the cool thing about hockey players. Like just, okay, you'll hide stuff from a doc. You won't let them know. And yeah, like it's fun to watch that part of it. And when you understand that mindset, and then just to watch the execution, like some of the goals, even last night, like Theodore, like what a setup on that power play, fake. I felt bad for Gustafson on that because I've been on one of those ends going, oh, yeah, oh, but so, but that's fun to watch, and then to watch it not just as a fan, but from a coaching perspective, watch the adjustments that teams are making. Okay, they had trouble that period with their forecheck, and now they're changing things a little bit, and using reverses this way. It's fun to watch high level coaches play chess with high level athletes. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the most rewarding things to watch in the playoffs.
Canucks are your team, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's not the Canucks, who do you want to win this year?
You know what? I would like to see Edmonton get one. Just again, I've had the good fortune to work with Stuart Skinner in the summer times. Great kid.
Hmm.
Takes a lot of shit. Um, got him one game lot away from it last year. And then to see McDavid, it's the same when Ovi got his cup. Everyone's happy for. I don't think anybody would not be happy for a kid like Connor McDavid to see him lift the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. That's the team I'm going to be cheering for sure this year.
And
So
you'd love to
who
see it come
wins?
back to Canada too, right?
Yeah, of course, it would be nice for that as well. But who wins the cup this year? I know that's an impossible question to answer, but
That's a tough one. There might be two Stanley Cup finals going on right now. You've got Colorado, Dallas.
huge
Wow. And
series.
then you've got the Battle of Florida.
Yeah.
Like either one of those teams could go all the way. They've got the goaltending, they've got the size, the snarl, they've got the scoring, special teams. Oof.
Well, Toronto though, like where the hell did that game come from?
Yeah, you know what? Stolarz looked a little shaky there. He was a little casual trying to haul that one rebound in, but rebounded, and who knows? Everyone's Leafs Nation will go bananas and be insufferable. But again, I'd be okay with it coming back to Canada.
Totally right. Like even if it's Toronto, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Let me hit you with one last question, and it's probably could be the easiest, could be the toughest. Can you nail it to one career highlight?
For me,
Yeah.
oh boy. Um, wow. That's a tough one. Um, yeah, because you celebrate stuff as a coach. That's not just you on your own. I would say probably signing my first pro contract. It was really satisfying to get to that level, and then just to be able to share that with my parents, kind of a thing. Um,
Right? Because like parents are the unsung heroes, man. Getting up early,
100%.
going to practice, like always supporting, being there 100%. Like,
You remind the kids too, like you repay your parents with sweat equity. Like when you've been provided an opportunity to be part of programs that you're in, and your parents are sacrificing. Like we've got kids, you know, Dylan Cousins came from Whitehorse, and then his younger brother Luke played for us too. We have a young man from Australia. We have a young man from South Korea. You get kids from all over the states. Parents sacrifice to give these kids these opportunities, and you repay them by sweat equity. And I look back, I never wanted for anything. My sister never wanted for anything, and my parents worked hard, man. So that's probably the one for me.
yeah, yeah, it's hard to get away from that, I bet. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Uh, Andy, where are you most active on social media? Like, where should people follow you?
um I kind of X or Twitter, whatever the heck we're calling it now.
Yeah,
I kind of watch that just to watch the tire fires going on right now. Instagram, I'm on there a bit,
just to perk
um,
off and shit, or
just to kind of keep up with stuff, and then I post stories, more celebrating the success of our athletes, kind of a thing. And once in a while, I post something on there personally. Got hacked on Instagram, my first account.
what?
Yeah, someone was impersonating a goalie coach buddy of mine in Ontario, and I interacted with the message, and next thing you know, my Instagram account was gone. And all of a sudden, this guy's posting stuff about crypto and
Oh no.
messing with pictures. So I couldn't get it back. They didn't use the face recognition. So that kind of spooked me a little bit. It's like, well, who does that kind of stuff? Like,
Right?
and it happens a lot,
Like,
which
and
is
how random.
unfortunate. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, I texted Perry on LinkedIn too. I said, hey, bud, just so you're aware, your account's been hacked, and now they just hacked mine. He's, yeah, working on it. So that
Mm,
was unfortunate, and it kind of spooked me a little bit. So, yeah, Instagram's the one I'm probably on the most, and it's just my name with the underscore. Um, my wife did a Facebook account for me, but I'm not on there very, very much. I kind of, like I said, I just kind of use it to keep up with the world. But and then we've got the YHA hockey Instagram accounts. That's pretty active. So
yeah. And what's the website for the Yale Hockey Association? Is it just straight up.com?
yeah, yeah, Yale Hockey Academy.
Beautiful, buddy. Well, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on.
No, it was an honor, man. I'm a big fan, and this has been fun. So I love the fact that you've done this so long, and
Dude, it's crazy. Into year 11.
that's awesome, man. And then again, all walks of life. Like you've had some really cool people on
I've
here,
had
and
some
then
pretty incredible guests, yeah.
yeah, and then it's all everyone's got a story, and then music is the tie that binds, right? So it's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah. Beautiful, buddy. Well, enjoy the long weekend month. You get a long weekend. You're not working today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Today's off, so
All right, buddy.
get
Yeah,
get
same for
going
me.
on the honey-do list.
Nice, man. Well, enjoy the day, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll tag you when we're chucking the shit around.
Absolutely pleasure, man. Thank you,
Okay.
brother.